Friday, April 24th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here along with you. Had a beautiful day across the region yesterday. Just picture perfect conditions. Temperatures very pleasant in the afternoon. And again, yesterday our temperatures kind of overperformed, so I'm going to go with a bit of a warmer forecast today too. More on that in just a second. 74 is what we reached in Charlotte, 80 in Columbia, 69 degrees the high in Greensboro, 68 in Raleigh and Greenville. Still cool yesterday in Boone, the high only 54. Now these are 5 o'clock hour temperatures this morning, and it is pretty chilly across the region. Some of the colder spots away from the more, I guess you could say, more urbanized type of areas in the triad and the triangle zones. You have some 30s on the board, some of the more outlying locations, and it is a little bit chillier in those regions this morning. Mountains, it's not a widespread freeze, but you do have pockets of sub-freezing temperatures up that way this morning. Linville now at 29. It is 30 in Banner Elk, and so for that reason, there's currently still a freeze warning in effect for many mountain spots. Again, it's not a widespread freeze up that way, but just some pockets of sub-freezing temperatures. Radar is quiet locally. Now you go off to the southwest of us, and that's where you're looking at activity getting started down in Texas especially. There's been some severe weather this morning in parts of Texas, an ongoing severe thunderstorm watch down that way. In fact, there you go. There's that watch plotted here early this morning. And it looks like a couple of pretty active severe weather days coming up over parts of the country. Here's your day one severe weather outlook. A couple of enhanced areas there over parts of Kansas, and then a secondary area over the Arklatex region back toward the Red River Valley and northeast Texas as a whole. And then as this system moves eastward tomorrow, here's the day two severe weather outlook, and that's an enhanced risk over the Tennessee Valley and parts of Kentucky and southern Illinois. And you notice actually that slight risk extends into the western parts of North Carolina. Let me zoom in a little bit more closely here. And I think you're looking at a scenario here where you wind up with a warm front that probably makes it to right about there. And so near and west of that front, that's where you have a severe weather threat tomorrow. But I really don't think you're going to see that translate into many of the North Carolina Piedmont zones, because we're probably going to be locked on the cool and stable side of that warm front. So here's how this plays out. Today is a beautiful day, high pressure overhead, sunshine all day, and very comfortable afternoon temperatures. And then here come the clouds rolling in tonight as the system approaches from the west. So highs today, we're going to go above a lot of the computer model guidance due to the fact the temperatures again overperformed yesterday. So we'll say a lot of the I-85 corridor is 68 to 70 degrees or so for highs this afternoon in North Carolina. And then we get on out to tomorrow, and it looks like clouds, a little rain out there at times, kind of a typical wedge day. And there's that warm front. And again, along into the southwest of that warm front, that's where you have an ongoing severe weather threat. But I think for a lot of the Piedmont zones and the foothill zones, that warm front hangs up just to our south tomorrow and tomorrow night. Now, your temperatures on the RPM modeling tomorrow, check this out. Here we are at 4 in the afternoon, and you see Greensboro, Raleigh in the 50s, some 60s in the southern parts of North Carolina, 70s further to the south. Here's the high temperature scheme tomorrow. And we'll go ahead and keep Charlotte around 59, although temperatures by evening could begin to creep up warmer than that. 53 in Greensboro, maybe warmer over toward Raleigh and Fayetteville, just kind of depending on how the clouds and that warm front behave tomorrow. And then Sunday, if you have outdoor plans, I do think Sunday the better of the two weekend days, but still some scattered showers a possibility for Sunday, but it doesn't look as widespread at all as what we're going to see tomorrow. And it could be a big spread in temperatures from north to south across the Carolinas. This particular chart indicating Charleston at 90, that may be a bit overdone, but you definitely get the idea. Down through South Carolina and Georgia and Alabama, a very warm Sunday, but as you head north into North Carolina, you're dealing with that leftover cool pool of air as that warm front, as that low pressure area rather, moves on through. Rain totals in North Carolina not looking terribly impressive with this system. A quarter, maybe a third or a half of an inch in a couple of spots. Certainly much better rain totals down across the Tennessee Valley into South Carolina. Could see 1 to 2 inches of rain down that way over the weekend. And then we get into next week. Monday and Tuesday look very nice. And then we get into Wednesday. Next area of low pressure moves through. I'll show you some of the modeling differences on that here in just a second. All right, so let's kind of take it day by day here. This is the GFS model today. We're in great shape, no problems. Tomorrow, this is daybreak. You see that rain advancing in. There's the precipitation then through the first half of the day into the early afternoon hours, and then there's the mid and late afternoon into early evening precipitation. You notice, again, it's not terribly heavy across most of North Carolina, and there's a result in the high temperatures tomorrow off the GFS model. You even have some 50s being indicated down into South Carolina, a good chunk of South Carolina, northeast Georgia on the north side of that warm front. But then you get to the south side of the warm front, you have highs well into the 80s in parts of Mississippi and Alabama, down into Florida and South Georgia. Now you get on out into Sunday morning, and again, this is the GFS depiction from the 0Z run. So there's Sunday morning. This is the precipitation Sunday morning into early afternoon, and then there's the later afternoon precip, just some lingering scattered showers, nothing terribly heavy. And again, there could be that big time temperature spread across the region. The GFS actually printing out, it looks like 88 in Charleston, 82 or 3 around Columbia. And then you can just see, again, the further north you go, the cooler it stays with that boundary still lying overhead. Now we get on out to Monday. We're in great shape. Plenty of sunshine Monday, highs mid and upper 60s across a good chunk of North Carolina. Tuesday looks just fine, highs in the low 70s. Still a good deal of sun. But here comes the next system. Now, again, this is the GFS depiction. It brings in a wet weather scenario for Wednesday. And with the rain, the temperatures held down again Wednesday. So you see a lot of 50s being indicated for highs on the GFS Wednesday. And then that system on the GFS is gone by Thursday. Thursday actually looks pretty good on the GFS model. Friday looks great. Now, on the European model, it's a different scenario. Let me kind of show you this. Now, this is the European upper air chart, 500 millibars, Wednesday morning and then Thursday morning. And now the European has gone to this big cutoff low scenario. Whereas on the GFS, this is Wednesday morning and there's Thursday morning, a weaker system that's gone by Thursday. So again, let me show you what this looks like on the European. And there you go. This is Wednesday. That is a very chilly, pretty heavy rain scenario that extends into a good chunk of Thursday. This is Thursday morning. And so it's a much more wrapped up, slower system on the European. And on the other end of the spectrum, there's the Canadian model. This is Wednesday on the Canadian. It really doesn't have any low of significance, just a weak low off North Florida. Doesn't ever generate any precipitation up into North Carolina. So some big differences there amongst the modeling. And so I'm going to keep my public forecast today very much like what I had yesterday. I'm going to go with the idea of some rain for Wednesday, and that being the wettest day. Tuesday looks good, and I'm going to kind of lean to the idea of the system being gone by Thursday, but we'll see if that more intense European type of solution unfolds. All right, that is it for today's edition of the video. Everybody have a great day and a great weekend, and God bless.